Howdy. So I thought this is my very favorite bedtime sweatshirt. I found it in college, just left on the back of a chair, and I've had it ever since. We're doing a Whole30 this month, and just for fun, I thought I'd go over the rules as I review them myself. I've technically done two Whole30s, but the second one my head wasn't in the game as much as it needed to be. I stuck to it and I did it, but I kind of ate whatever I wanted to. Like the first time I did it, I wasn't counting calories, but I was also more aware of how much I was eating. And then the second one I was weighing myself, and that's a big no-no. You're not supposed to weigh yourself on the Whole30 because the whole idea behind it's an elimination diet. So you eliminate a number of different food categories for the purpose of identifying what foods you may be sensitive to. It's a great way to reset your body. It's also a really good way to, what am I thinking? Revamp the way that you view food, because over the course of, it's not just 30 days because there's a reintroduction phase. So over the course of like the 6 to 9-ish weeks that you're doing it, you'll encounter celebrations, you'll have to go out with friends. Like there's a number of things that you'll do where you can't eat as you normally would, and that will help to reset your view of food and your value of food and things like that. So here are the rules. Do not consume any added sugar of any kind, real or artificial. No alcohol in any form. Do not eat any grains. No legumes. The only exceptions are green beans and snap peas. Do not eat any dairy. Do not consume carcinogen, MSG, or added sulfates. So you have to read all of the ingredients on your labels to confirm that there's no preservatives, that there's no processed foods, and that there's no MSG or anything like that. So it's supposed to be very clean, simple ingredients. Do not recreate baked goods, treats, or junk food with approved ingredients. So in this case, like you can't make a pancake out of coconut flour with no sugar. The whole idea is to step away, which I get. I think to some degree it also depends on why you're doing it. To some degree, I feel like learning to make some of your favorite foods in a way that is healthier could have its own benefits, but it is part of the rules. So if you're going to do it right, and if you're going to do it by the technical Whole30 rules, that's it. Do not step on the scale or take any kind of measurements. And then you choose your date. It does require, I remember this, it requires a lot of time to prepare the food, and it does require an intentionality whenever you're going to the store. So I list everything out. When I do the Whole30, I typically plan at least a week in advance. I'm going to sit down in a minute and plan for the whole month that we're doing it. Looking to see if there's anything else. This is my short book. I've actually got two of them. I've got the Fast and Easy, and then I've got the Whole30, like the original. And both of them have really good recipes. Lord help me. It's not intended to be a lifestyle diet, so while it can be very helpful, you're not supposed to live on the rules for more than the intended set amount of time. And you can do it in phases, but you definitely want to go through the reintroduction phase. And then you want to go through, I guess, just a time period where you're practicing the mindset, you're practicing the healthy eating before you do one again. So I would say don't do one more than, 2 to 4 times a year. because you don't want your body also to get an intolerance because you're avoiding a food group for so long, which can happen. People can develop allergies. They can develop an intolerance to food if they don't ever get exposure to it. Looking. It says, get your house ready. I'm looking for the rules. Plan for success. I really like the way that the book is written also because she's very funny and she's very to the point. When you're reading it, it almost feels like you're talking to a pretty strict friend. Oh, and this is a reminder. You definitely want to check out the Whole30 timeline. It's in the book, but you can also get a PDF version on the phone, which is what I tend to look at the most. And what I love about the timeline, the 2 times that I've done it, it was very true. And I've even used this timeline whenever I've done other forms of fasting, because I find that the timeline is pretty true to any big diet. Reintroduction. So when you reintroduce, this is after you've completed the 30 days, you want to plan out your reintroduction phase. So every 2 to 3 days or so, you're going to reintroduce a food group, and then you're going to go like a day or 2 without that food to see if you have any flare-ups, if you have any sensitivities, if you have mental fog, like that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to see, am I sensitive to this food group? That's how I learned that I don't do dairy very well. And I also don't do liquor very well, though I love it. But I remember whenever I did mine, the first time that I did it, I lost 22 pounds. The second time, I think I only lost like 6 pounds, which is still a significant amount of weight to lose in 30 days. So lots of weight loss. I remember I got rid of my mental fog. I quit craving sugar altogether, and that's been a permanent change. I don't crave sweets. I discovered during my first Whole30 that I had candida, so I was able to treat that. And then there you have it. So it looks like this book, the example it gives of a reintro phase, it's taking it into like 50 days. So, give yourself lots of time during the reintro phase. If you don't have any problems with a food group, you can just keep eating it. If you do have problems, avoid it until you are up and running again, and then just don't eat it anymore. Don't eat it anymore, or eat it in moderation and know that it might make you feel bad. And that's part of the deal with this diet is, the whole point of it is to figure out what your body can tolerate and what it can't. And you can also get testing. I mean, there's much more complicated forms of testing where, they do the scratch test or, they'll test your blood or different things like that. But I think that this is another good way to do it. Can I perform? So, okay, I think that's all I've got about the Whole30. I'm going to start my meal planning for it. And I even cook they're so good. I cook the recipes even whenever I don't I'm not on a Whole30. So I'll like make 1, or 2. So what I'm going to do is see, and then I make notes in the cookbook so that I know what I think about the recipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and plan out my month, and then I'm going to share what will be on the menu. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye.